snowboarding. The first is backcountry, where you're in the back and middle of nowhere and the snow is about this deep. The second is free riding, where you're on the face of the mountain and there's chairlifts to take you up and down. The third is park, where you're either in half pipes, going off jumps, or hitting stuff called rails and boxes. Different parts of the snowboard that you need to know. The first that you need to know is this is what a snowboard looks like. There's two different parts. The front of the board, right up here, is called the nose, and the back down there is called the tail. Just like you, your nose is up front and your tail is kind of in the back. Also, the whole part that goes all the way around the board, usually made of stainless steel, is called the edge. The bottom of the board, where you actually go down the snow, that's called the base. Your board that you really need to know are your boots and your bindings. The first one is your binding, which is this part right here. It screws down onto your board and holds your boots in place so you can get your board down the hill. The second is your boot itself. There's two parts of the boot. The first is the inner binding, which is this whole gray part here. It's the actual part of the boot that holds your foot where you want it to be. The white part, that's the outer boot, as we call it, and that's the part that you have your inner boot inside of, and that's what goes into the binding. Actually choose what board is best for me. The first thing you gotta think about is you're not gonna choose it by how tall the board is. You wanna choose it by how much you weigh. Weight distribution is a big part of snowboarding, and people usually forget that. The second thing you want to think about is what kind of riding you're going to be doing. If you're going to be in the park a lot, you want a board that's shorter so you can turn it around a lot quicker. Whereas if you're doing something like backcountry or free riding, you're going to want something a little bit bigger so you can get up on top of that powder and cruise.